You are watching Travel World Online.
Very good morning, straight from Jaipur, as it is going to be 13th edition of Great Indian Travel Bazaar, and this time the theme is Red Expo in India. So you can see that all the preparations are on full swing, and all the delegations which are from domestic as well as international, they are going to visit this event to explore more of the opportunities for tour and travel. And this time again, FICCI has sponsored this program with govt of Rajasthan, and the theme is same, that is Red in India, and all the delegates have been arriving to Jaipur to get the mesmerizing hospitality from the local community. So we will try to get few of the glimpses from this event with all our team members who are already present in the event, and we will try to get the feedback from different delegates who have visited all across globe to promote tourism.
The Rajasthan's Tourism Department is hosting the 13th edition of the Great Indian Travel Bazaar (GITB) in Jaipur from May 5th to 7th to boost tourism in the state. The event is being organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry (FICCI). A state tourism department official stated, "We will highlight Rajasthan's rich cultural heritage, arts, and historical significance at the event."
I don't think we would have been able to do what we've done today. So thank you so much for your visit on this. And I know that you went through a lot of highs and lows, and I think you did mention that you went through a couple of sleepless nights on that. But truly it's been spectacular, and I know that this is going to go a long way. And as you mentioned that you don't want to just keep it here in Jaipur. You want to make it across, and you want to make it international. And let me tell you, we will make it international. Right, Reggie? Yes, we did interview on the fact that Jaipur is a beautiful destination, but India has many other locations. And with Red in India, we want to expose all those other locations which are equally enticing and equally interesting. Perhaps lacking a little bit of the romance, but still very, very inviting. So thank you for giving us this opportunity in Rajasthan to hold the second expo it is. And we know that this is going to go a long way forward. Thank you very much, Deepak, for always being in the forefront of all of these charities. Thank you for coming in and taking your time out. Thank you to all my other colleagues in FICCI, Jason, Sabas, and I can see a lot of my familiar faces sitting there. I just want to wave out to you guys and thank you for being such a big support. We spoke about GITB very briefly, but I just want to take an opportunity to say that this is going to be the 13th edition of the GITB, which has grown from strength to strength. Last year, we did a focus on Meet in India, when we did the sideline meeting right here in the resort for G20. And this year, we've taken on the Great Indian India campaign to govt with the Great Indian Travel Bazaar. Weddings, as Ketan mentioned earlier, that it is the most important day of our lives as parents. To dream of beautiful weddings for their children, but they're actually involved. And if you look at a few decades ago, a wedding was a very simple affair, where it was the family that took on the responsibility, and various members of the family were given different responsibilities, whether it was decoration, whether it was food. And then slowly it began to become a slightly bigger affair. And we noticed that people started getting married in hotels. Good for us, of course. And then, to another avatar, and that became a destination wedding. Now, destination wedding can take a lot more planning, so you have to move out of the purview of just your family members. And that's when all of you came into the picture. And believe you me, the destination wedding has never looked back. And the success of that is lying completely with every single stakeholder of the city of Bristol. So a round of applause for all of you. Just a few numbers, I don't know if they're correct or not, but apparently the global wedding service market is 179.23 billion. And it is about to reach 647.39 billion by the end of 2032. It's a huge jump. In India, this is according to some research that has come through, that the industry is growing by 7 to 8% and is estimated to reach 75 billion in the 23-24 current year that we are in. So it just goes to show what a huge potential it has and what it is going to contribute to the GDP of this country. And suddenly, weddings have become an industry. And today we're all sitting here talking about wedding as an industry. It is actually helping all the destinations where the weddings actually take place. Even Deepak mentioned about how it generates employment, economy in the various destinations, and that's what is more valuable than what is coming into the GDP. Now, why is it that we are looking at wedding in India? We have a Prime Minister who has not overlooked the importance of what weddings and meetings can do to India. He's always been very passionate about travel and tourism, and he's been giving us this big push. And suddenly one day he decides and he gives on a public platform, he says, well, why do we have to go out of the country, get married in India? And then comes this beautiful campaign done by the Ministry of Tourism which says, India says, I do. It is one of the most amazing, most beautiful, most captivating campaigns, and thank you very much to the Ministry of Tourism for giving us that campaign. I'm going to leave the dais to somebody very special, Sabas, who I've known for the longest time, and Sabas, of course, doesn't need any introduction. I think each and every one of you know who he is, and some of you have even worked with him and have branched out after that. So Sabas is going to talk about what the industry, and I'm very proudly calling it the wedding industry. What does the wedding industry really entail? That's number one. Number two, how do we bring more progress into it? And what are the issues that the industry is facing, and how can we make it even more enhanced, more economically contributive, and so I'm going to I'm sure he's going to pull the hotels down and that. I have a feeling he's going to, but still I'm going to let him take on that, guys. But having said that, once again, I want to thank all you beautiful people in the hall for taking out your time to be here. And I enjoyed some of your company last night, and I can assure you that the next coming couple of days that you are here, you're going to love it. But I just want to leave one thought with both Gayatri ji and with Manisha ji, is that let's not just make this into a conference where we're going to have deliberations, we're going to have lots of deliberations during the day, but let's come up with something which is very tangible and concrete.
We have two international buyers. One is coming from Los Angeles and other is coming from Poland. So ma'am, how was your experience when you thought of Jaipur?
Well, this is my first time in Jaipur.
Okay.
I've heard so much about it. I watched documentaries, so it's really exciting to be here. I do groups, and so I'm really looking forward to bringing them here, especially for the experiences. And we visited some of the booths and the kind of activities they have, the local things like the blue pottery and block printing.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that I would like to incorporate when I bring a group.
And before this event, have you ever been sent any group to Jaipur, or it's the first
No,
time?
absolutely not.
Not in India,
No.
or not in
No,
Jaipur?
because I've not experienced it myself. It's my first time here myself.
Oh, that's great. And what kind of message you are going to convey to your friends about India and about Jaipur?
Well, I think I've shown pictures.
Okay.
I think pictures,
Okay.
speak 1,000 words, so I'm going to do that.
And do you know what's the theme for this kind of event which is being run by the FICCI? What's the theme behind this? It's Wed Expo in India.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of wedding destinations.
That's correct, yes.
So are you thinking that you can promote that kind of activities back in your country too?
I can. I'm not so much into wedding. I have just started with weddings, but that's something definitely that I can promote
That's
as
great.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, we have one more ma'am from Poland. Ma'am, how was your experience in India and especially in Jaipur?
Jaipur is absolutely wonderful. This is my third time in Jaipur
Okay,
and I think fifth time in India.
that's great.
I work in MICE business, so we organize incentive and we did some groups to India before, to Jaipur as well.
That's right.
And I returned here to check what is new, what changed. I returned to find good partners which can offer us new activities or just activities for our guests.
What about the hospitality of the local people?
It's absolutely amazing, and I am fond of India very much. Many people are a little bit afraid because they don't know the destination. So my role is to promote and to say it's safe. Just come and just check yourself.
As you are dealing with the MICE tourism, so are you going to think about the Red Expo in India as this is a theme for this kind of event?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. All kind of promotion of India are interesting for me.
Our state had the good fortune of hosting almost 7 big meetings, giving a very big visibility to our rich cultural heritage and colorful landscape at the global level. The G20 participants all went back as brand ambassadors of India tourism, flooding their social media handles and accounts with amazing pictures and content. As we inaugurate this initiative, I would once again like to extend a warm welcome to all the participants, exhibitors and guests. I encourage all the stakeholders in the wedding industry to explore the diverse opportunities that Rajasthan has to offer, and together we can all work in making our place the most preferred wedding destination, not only in the country but also in the world. We have meaningful conversations during the course of the day and come up with some great ideas and further adding zing and bling, whatever you can say, to this ever-growing industry. My best wishes to all of you. Hope you enjoy your stay in Jaipur and hope your participation in GITB is a memorable one.
Before you today, ready to commence the first Wed in India Expo, which seeks to bring together some of the finest minds of the wedding ecosystem from not just India but across the globe. It's been heartwarming to see the response that India has generated across the world as it prepares to open its doors to families who are ready in the midst of planning their celebrations. India, a country of 28 states, 8 union territories, 22 languages, and a religious diversity covering 8 major religions of the world awaits you. Many from temples and rivers to mountains and beaches, India offers you a canvas like no other can. Hospitality runs in the veins of every Indian, and we were raised with one belief: to open our hearts and our homes to every guest as if they were God, something we called Atithi Devo Bhava. Everyone sitting in this room today is a stakeholder in this dream of making Wed in India a success. No matter who you are, but if you are here today, it is because you are a valuable part of the Indian wedding ecosystem. I urge you to don that hat with pride, for you have contributed to shape and form, making us an over $50 billion industry today. Following closely on the heels of Bollywood and cricket, the next big influencer is the big fat Indian wedding. What we wear, which songs we dance to, how we like our food served, and which part of the country we shoot our pre-wedding photographs all seem to set social media on fire. It is with pride that I say that many Indian planners are being recruited by couples across the globe to come and handle their celebrations. Many in this room have a clientele of celebrities who are not just from India. It is now time to open our doors and have them travel here to get married. A few years ago, India embarked on the historic Make in India mission, which sought manufacturers to take pride in producing in India. India reached new global heights with its manufacturing capabilities and continues to do so with that mission. We all remember that gallant line that was the trademark of the Make in India movement. Ladies and gentlemen, that line is just found a mate, and it's now time to get them married. And may I say, here in India. The Wedding India Summit is a testament of our commitment in making this dream a reality. We as an industry are extremely thankful to the Ministry of Tourism, the Department of Tourism, Government of Rajasthan, and partners across the travel, tourism and media industries in helping us make this possible. The stage is soon going to see some of the finest minds at work who are helping us to pave the way. I urge you to participate with fervor as you would do in any wedding. A wedding of our minds, a wedding of our commitments towards each other, and a wedding to make this great country, India.
Great India Expo. But here in Rajasthan, the state that has endless possibilities to host weddings and events. The initiative shall act as an inclusive platform for the diverse stakeholders of the wedding tourism industry, including wedding planners, hoteliers, destination management companies, state governments, and policy makers. 16 wedding international planners and more than 55 domestic planners are participating in this event. How the wedding and events landscape has changed. A few years ago, weddings did happen, but they were not so intrusive, with smaller budgets and probably less bling. We did hear of the amazing weddings in Turkey and Tuscany. Indian weddings also became famous when a daughter of an Indian married at the Palace of Versailles in France. A lot of people asked us when we traveled, how come they're all getting married out here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jamnagar is the new Tuscany. Welcome to incredible India. And the more interesting part is that weddings, the hotel managers remember sire dates and then they forget their own wedding anniversaries. I was told by a hotel manager I was in big trouble yesterday because I was at the hotel. I could tell you the sire dates, but I couldn't remember my own wedding anniversary. In any case, weddings have become a great revenue source for hotels and venues. It's also a segment that contributes a lot to the tourism economic numbers. Last year we discussed the positive impact of G20, a mega event for conferencing. It took India to a different level in conferencing. And this year we are talking of weddings in India. FICCI is delighted to be partnering with all of you. And in the day ahead should be very interesting, and we have some amazing people in the room who will share their experiences with us. We're also really proud that weddings are now more in India than overseas. And I think this trend is it's just not a trend, this is here to stay. I will leave you with a thought. I believe that sustainability, or let's say net zero weddings, will be important in the near future. Clients of the future will demand sustainable weddings. Hotels and venues will need to step up their game on this. Otherwise, they will be left behind. It's more than just converting from plastic water bottles to glass water bottles. It's a whole lot more. Part of this will be keeping the wealth local, not getting companies from other places to deliver services, and not giving the local community a chance to earn from the event. Wedding planners will have to play a role here. They have a very important role to play. They can educate clients on sustainable practices, but they have to be interested and educate themselves on the subject. By taking the lead in this area, wedding planners can drive significant change in the industry. With that, I thank you all for being here today, and I wish you a very successful day. Thank you very much.
And the honeymoon is in India. And I am sure that next year, the Rajasthan tourism and indeed all the other tourism departments here will start with a wedding in an Indian church or an Indian temple or an Indian hotel or an Indian mosque and show how wedding in India is as important as honeymoon in India. So, and just to say this, you said there are only so many auspicious days. Actually, there's no auspicious day concept in churches. So we can go all around. And when we talk about hotels not charging too much, we should say wedding planners should also not charge too much. The third, it's a private a business, right? FICCI represents 250,000 businesses across the country. And therefore, our only aim is our members should double their cash flow and profits in the next 5 years. Otherwise, what's the point of being a FICCI member? And IMA is a FICCI member, so I'm happy. The third is, we talked about how Jaisalmer or Jamnagar is the new Tuscany. Actually, as you said very rightly, instead of 10, we have 101 destinations. But the one specific recommendation is, we all remember that movie called My Big Fat Greek Wedding. When are we going to have the movie on the Big Fat Indian Wedding? Because you know and I know that film tourism is another thing the government is promoting. And a couple of films on the theme of a wedding in India, with a lot of melodrama thrown in, will do more to promote wedding in India than some conferences like this. So let's get that movie done. Let it be an international movie and a Bollywood movie. The third is, Indians are getting richer. Okay? Any Indian in this room knows this. Indians are getting richer. And when you get rich, you tend to spend that money. And it's always better to spend it in our own country instead of going to benefit some European or other economy. Because remember, and here I went back to FICCI's founding. FICCI was actually founded on the inspiration of Mahatma Gandhi. And Mahatma Gandhi addressed our 4th annual general meeting in 1931. Even today, 97 years later, after FICCI was founded, India does have a lot of people who are not rich. And if you spend that money here, it directly benefits people who are not rich. Who do you think put up these flowers here? Who do you think arranged these tables and chairs? Who do you think arranged that decoration outside? I was here this morning at 6:15 and I could see some non-rich people doing all the arrangements. So every single time you have a function where you spend in India, you wed in India, you benefit India's work. And that
You are watching Travel World Online.